And then I need to turn my audio down on my computer. Oh no, how do I do that? I forgot. Okay, here it is. And then I'm going to close the PLB YouTube channel. All right. We're live? Yeah, now we're live. We'll let people load into the room. Do you like this better?
Ooh, I do, actually. No, I like it back.
Oh, what the hell? Why come I can't hear you? Okay, I know why. My bad. It turned down.
Devon's flying the Falcon. Not good.
Again. No, I shouldn't have done it. Why did I think that? Okay, never mind.
Can you recline the seat back, though? Can you recline the seat back? Push it. No. Push our video. Push it back.
That.
Yeah, okay. That's what I meant. Sorry. Okay. Yay! Oh, I like that so much. It's so much nicer.
We have our buttons in
you
the
can
background.
see my little kaleidoscope. It's fun.
Yeah. Oh, look at how pretty.
Yeah, for the holidays, you know.
I do. Yay! We have a colored ceiling light, but it's pink. We can't see it now. Anyway.
Oh, I like pink. Pink is good.
Well, I don't know if we'll get anybody in here, but we'll get started. And can you hear me okay?
I can hear you absolutely.
I know
you sound great.
But I wish that people would jump in just to tell me if I sound good.
Well, I'm definitely hearing you. Your new toy sounds great. I definitely feel this is great. You don't have the microphone right up against your face.
Yeah.
So this is nice.
It's nice like that. It's like we can just chat and I'm not have this microphone in my mouth anymore.
Exactly. Exactly.
I can wear my button. Oh, it's over here.
There. I like that too. It's ridiculous. I'll go to try to move my hair. I'm like, wait a minute, it's on the other side. It's terrible. It's just, yeah, we're still rookies. That's how I feel. But let's get started.
It's new. Let me put our ticker up there. Okay, ticker.
There it is. Yay!
And then we have our comments. So we're all good to go.
All righty. So I did double check with you because, you know, I'm bad with numbers. This is episode 97. Our episode 96 isn't quite out yet, but it will be.
It will be. We did it live though, so yeah.
That's true. It is on the YouTube channel for Pitiful Little Band. So you can check it out there if you've missed it. Yeah. So
plus I have a confession to make.
Uh-oh.
I first made the banner picture and I wrote 67 and I even posted it. And then I went, what did I do? I had to change it all.
I obviously didn't notice that.
No, because I deleted it really quick. I'm like, that was a long time ago. 97. We're close to 100.
We are getting there. We're just on the cusp. It's not bad. So for those of you that are listening live and those that are going to be listening to us later, when it's all said and done and on all the news feeds and social media, all that great stuff, we are taking this moment today to look back at Star Wars 2020. And it's interesting. I just want to say this. When I was starting to compile the list, I was actually surprised with how much Star Wars we got.
Yeah.
Considering the year,
more. We've probably forgotten.
Oh, I'm sure. But really quick, I just want to take a moment to say the High Republic debuts this month. We can actually say that. It comes out, the first book, Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule, January 5th.
I know. Mine's pre-ordered on my Audible.
And it's awesome. That's all I'm going to say. It's awesome. Mark and I, for Tarkin's Up Shelf, will be sitting down tomorrow to discuss that. So we're excited. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to do any spoilers. So let's look back.
First of all,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Happy New Year.
Yes. Hang on. Let me get in. I'm looking at the notes, of course. So I'm just looking at my Happy New Year. Happy New Year. And for our friends over at Pink Milk, Serving Pink Milk, the podcast, this is for them. This is actually pink
Oh, it is
Bailey's. It's
pink.
strawberries and cream.
I was thinking of
Or did
making
I say
mine
strawberries? I
blue,
did.
but I didn't have time.
So doing that. So yes, Happy New Year. I mean, we're only 2 days in, and
Yeah.
already there's so much stuff coming at us. So Star Wars related. So
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have a decent Star Wars content year. It seems that way anyway, right now.
So far.
So
But
far.
But the big thing is obviously the Mandalorian. But I have whoops. Okay. I have to share something with you,
Sure.
with everybody here.
Welcome everyone to the Church of Star Wars. Please rise. A reading from the Book of the Mandalorian, Season 2, Chapter 16. And Filoni and Favreau said unto his followers, although the season has ended, you shall still keep Friday as the holiest of days, until the Mandalorian rises again in the third season. This is the way the ceremony has ended. Now go in peace to spread the word of Star Wars. May the Force be with us all.
That's fantastic.
Wait,
That
he's
is
doing it again.
fantastic.
Sorry.
Hi, Eric. Eric has joined us
Eric
in
is
the
here.
chat.
Eric is here. Wonderful.
Hello. The
Holy
holy hand grenade. Oh, thank you. And Devin, thanks. That's
Wasn't
fantastic.
that the best ever? I'm like, wow, people are so clever.
But can I just say though, that made me realize something. We have yet to see some sort of pastor, priest, something like that in Star Wars.
Oh yeah. Well,
the closest we got was the Guardians of the Wills.
They were kind of, yeah.
They were the closest.
Like they were like monks more than anything. Yeah.
So that's the closest that we've ever gotten. So that's something to throw out there. But yeah, so now that Eric has joined us, thank you very much. We're gonna start looking back at 2020 Star Wars content wise. And like I said, when we were going through the list, there really is a lot that we got. It actually shocks me.
Yeah, me too.
I'm surprised. So the sequel trilogy ended, obviously, in December of 2019, but Star Wars still went on. We started off the year, I believe, with Jedi Temple Challenge with Ahmed Best as Master Beck. And that was fantastic because we've never had like a game show type of setup with Star Wars. That was like its first real thing. Fun. And that was fun. I like to see them do that now with adults, not just kids. I think that would be interesting. I think it would. I'm sorry.
Oh, people are going to hurt themselves. I don't know.
Right? Well, we kind of do anyway. More so emotionally when you get us all in the same social media center. So
yeah.
Maybe we do better live because we do better, during celebrations. We all seem to get along.
I think Star Wars. Darn it! What do they call that? Never mind. The words are gone.
Have another drink, Deb. She just started. I just really do think, though, that
obstacle course. Wait, it came to me.
I would not be good at that.
Obstacle courses are for kids. I'm sorry.
This is true, but if you have the Force,
well,
it shouldn't be that hard of an obstacle, right?
Or a hover.
Just don't make us do the whole Rey thing.
Yeah.
While she's training, while Master Leia waits. Yeah, no. That would be bad. We'd all be coming back with broken hips, and that wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Especially like the original fan base, like, that have been along for the rides
already.
Since the 70s.
Yeah. Sorry.
And thank you, Eric. That's right. The series finale of Resistance dropped in January. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
It did, which that, that is something that's often a thought in my mind, is that I really think they should have waited to introduce Resistance after the sequel trilogy ended. Because I think they would have had a better idea of how they could have fit that
Yeah.
into the sequel series. I mean, maybe I'm wrong on that, because I just feel like it was so cut short and it was like abrupt. I would have liked to have seen them show up with the whole, it's just people. You know what I mean? I would
I
have loved to
know.
have, I mean, granted, people thought they saw the Colossus, but are there some other ships that look like that? Is it the only one? We
Yeah.
know the
'Cause
Millennium Falcon's not the
yeah.
only YT. You know what I mean? There's
Right.
others.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that I think,
Mhm.
because I thought it was great. I mean, we had fun with that.
It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I totally forgot that.
Yep. I mean, to me, it was more lighthearted versus, the Clone Wars and the Rebels and all that. It was just more lighthearted and fun. I think it was more for the family, more for, kids.
Mhm.
Um, but we have to keep in mind too, because I know it's touchy and it did deserve one more season. I agree with that. Like I said, I feel like it was
Yeah.
cut pretty short there like that. But and I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something.
That's
I
okay.
forgot.
See, never podcast at night because we're never
No, this
no
is
brains
true.
left.
We really don't. Um, but I do, like I said, I do feel it was cut short, but I do have to keep reminding myself, I remembered now. And I really wish everyone else could too, especially us older fans, that, just like everything else, things need to evolve in order to survive. Star Wars has to fit its generation.
Yeah.
It can't always cater to us. We've had our Star Wars, we've had our fun. We can still enjoy what's coming out, but they have to make it relatable to what's going on now.
Yeah.
And, and for that age group, and I always go back to the one thing that if you didn't get it with the original trilogy, but when they started promoting the prequels, and especially when they started promoting the sequels, in the advertisement, it would say, every generation has a story.
Yeah. I
It's
remember
right
that.
there. I mean,
Uh-huh.
so we have to keep that in mind. They have things out there now for all different age groups. And
Yeah.
we've said this even on our phone call today that, there's so much more Star Wars now than we had back in 2005. We never thought we would have what we have today, where if you don't like something, that's okay. There's other things you can go and do.
Mhm.
I mean, we've got a whole bunch of new video games, and that in itself is its own medium. You've got stories with that. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And I don't know it all, and I'm not going to try to know it all because that's just too much work. Yeah, nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, thanks, Eric, because that's the one thing that I left off the list. I can't believe I left that off. But so we also got in books, we got the second novel to Alphabet Squadron, which was Shadowfall,
Yeah.
which,
Really great book.
oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
that little segment of the galaxy, that little section is I guess that's one of the benefits of a company like Disney owning it. Very, very true. And you're referring to Resistance, correct, Eric? Just trying to get back on track to what he's getting at. But so with Alphabet Squadron, that is its own little niche within Star Wars. And I think it's good because those of us that have been interested in all the piloting type
Yeah.
stories, which you are a huge fan of,
Yeah.
this definitely is that group. And I've said this to Mark Suter for Talking Stuff Shelf quite a few times, that I really think, and this might be where they're going with the whole Rogue Squadron thing,
Mhm.
with Patty Jenkins, is you could really make a whole either live action or a film series on those books, and it's nothing to do with Skywalkers. Like, there's no Skywalker really mentioned in it. You don't even get
No.
lightsabers. You don't get Jedi. It's all piloting.
No,
You
it's all
get
about it's all about the squadrons, which,
exactly.
you think you people try to make Star Wars such a small universe, and it's not.
Mm-mm.
We've talked about this before, where yes, Luke Skywalker blew up the Death Star, but how many people actually connected with him before and after that? I mean, a lot
Right.
happened. He arrived on Yavin 4, and then he got in a X-wing. He hooked up with Biggs. Hey, yeah, let's go, and then and now they're gone,
Right.
and then that was over, and how many? I mean, except for maybe being around the command people, you know,
Mm-hmm.
how many people really knew Luke Skywalker?
Well,
So how
and I'm
many
glad you're
people
saying this.
knew all of that? Knew Han Solo, or actually knew everything they knew of them. That core group is probably way blown out of proportion stories.
Well, and that's just it. And like I said, I'm glad you're mentioning this because when you look at those books with Alpha Squadron, just those,
Hmm. Hmm.
you look at who those main characters, the pilots,
Yeah.
look up to as heroes, and Chaz looks up to Jyn Erso, not Luke
Right.
Skywalker. Jyn is her like top dog.
Right.
That is who she wants to idolize. That is who she wants to be like. And that's cool because I was happy to get that kind of love for Jyn because that whole group, which is Rogue One, they sacrificed themselves just to get the plans. Because without
Right.
those plans, Luke could not do what he did.
Yeah.
It would not be relevant.
No.
So I
Everybody
think
played
it's
their
cool.
part. Hmm.
Exactly. So it's nice to see, like you said, who really knows the Han, who knows about Luke. It is a very big universe. But the fact that someone like Chaz idolizes Jyn, who's not even a pilot,
Yeah.
right? You would think it would be the other way around because she's a pilot, thinks she'd be all about the Luke, but she's about Jyn.
Hmm.
So it's interesting, like you said, to really
It
see
was a
that.
nice setup for knowing that we got a little bit of the Empire side of things in
Yes.
the Aftermath series, but and then you kind of got we had in Battlefront 2, we had an Imperial officer. Was she a TIE pilot?
Who,
I can't
Iden?
remember. Iden. Anyway,
Iden, yes. Mm-hmm.
she defects to the other side, and but it was nice that there was some more to get some more perspective on it. And some of them may not have been who they said they were, and it was very interesting story, that
Yep.
whole.
Well, I think that's even, knowing Iden's story, but then you look at someone like Quell. Basically, she, like, very similar to Iden, she left under different circumstances.
Mhm.
And she actually has to go through therapy to know that therapy was an option. But if you look at certain things, because at that time where Alpha Squadron's starting, you've got the beginning of the New Republic, correct?
Right.
So I guess if you think about it, the therapy is probably a better option than going to those work camps that the New Republic has for the prisoners,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
So,
yeah.
just saying.
Well, yeah. Well, Princess Leia took that over, so perhaps she had a hand in making sure that the prison camps weren't happening anymore. Who knows?
Well, we saw it in The
You know.
Mandalorian. Those prison camps are
I know.
happening.
I know.
You
And
know,
so, but is Leia at that time the leader of the resistance yet? See?
no. This is
Yeah.
right after Alpha
Yeah.
Squadron. The,
So that's
the
Mon
first two books
Mothma's
were
deal,
right. Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Mon.
But I know the final novel that's coming out this year for
Yeah.
Alpha Squadron is going to take place further on down the road. So it's
Okay.
going to have some time that's passed. So we'll see where we're
Oh.
at. I'm wondering if it's going to line up with Mandalorian at all.
Ooh, that would be
I'm
nice.
just curious to see where they fall because things
Yeah.
obviously change as the New Republic grows. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
And then you have Cara Dune from The Mandalorian, who, decided to leave the rebellion. Um, I wonder, did she? I mean, obviously she left on good terms, or she wouldn't. They would be hunting her down for desertion, I suppose.
Right. Well, the war typically, was technically over, um,
Yeah.
quote unquote,
Okay.
but Eric is saying the Skywalker saga is only one small part of the story, and that's true. And I
Yeah.
think that's why, like I said, I'm actually happy to see them tell other stories that aren't necessarily directly connected, because I think we need that in order for Star Wars. Like you said, it's a big galaxy. It needs to show other things that are going on within it. And we're getting that now. And
Yeah.
I think we're only going to get that as it goes on. And I think it's time. It's definitely time, because if you think of the EU, which is now Legends, most of it was revolving around that
Around
inner circle.
Skywalkers. It was all the
Right.
Skywalker stuff. Yeah. Hmm.
What about the rest of the world? Well, not world, but galaxy, you know what I mean? So I think this is good. I think this is good. And we even got this in 2020, because we also got the Clone Wars season 7.
Yeah, which
Like,
we never
holy
thought we were
cow.
gonna get. Yeah. So yeah,
No.
we saw the preview for that at Celebration, and that was amazing. Couldn't wait to see
Mm-hmm.
it. That was the that was an amazing final few episodes. I mean, Ahsoka just was she was so badass.
Exactly. But I always like looking back, especially now,
Yeah,
at all that we've got with the Clone Wars. I mean, 7 seasons, 7 seasons.
I
Plus,
know.
we got Ahsoka within a few seasons of Rebels. So we've got a lot of history with that character. I always felt that, especially the Clone Wars, was her story. It was told from
Yeah.
her perspective. We are following her journey.
Mhm.
Um, and I think it only made sense to really have it, close out
Yeah.
following her,
Mhm.
because she is central to it all. She really is the fulcrum
Yeah.
of it, with the whole center point. And yes, Siege of Mandalore. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah, I mean, the amount of work now that goes into this animation is mind blowing. To know that they use actual motion cap,
Yeah.
actual
Yeah.
real life people to capture these movements, these battle scenes, is just it was crazy, to see what they can do with it now compared to what they did, how many years ago, a few years ago,
Refresh my memory. Did Ray Park do uh Darth Maul movements in that? That's right, he did.
Hmm.
Ah,
He did.
cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. And I believe the same actress that does um the action sequences for the armorer did the
Mm.
sequences for Ahsoka.
Oh, okay.
Which
That's too
makes sense.
cool. Yeah.
Hmm. But I mean, that alone, I mean, I really felt satisfied with what we got. And out of that is coming Bad Batch for next year, which I think will be cool. Yes, Lauren Mary Kim. Thank you. I'm bad at
Weird.
names, but it is the same person.
Yeah.
So,
Well, he's probably got a computer, or unless he's just has it in his brain, which he probably
he
does.
probably does. I wouldn't doubt it. Eric knows his stuff. Like that, I'm just bad. I just know it's the same person. Um, uh, so at least I know something.
Good enough.
So yeah, so Clone Wars came out. That was awesome. I mean, obviously it was sad that it ended, but I think the way they did it, the way they told it, I
Mhm.
think it ended well. Like I said, I was satisfied. And I'm still curious to learn more about this character, but I really feel like when it comes to Ahsoka, she is probably the most fleshed out character in Star Wars. I think so
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, just even
And
with, well,
more
how many
coming.
years?
So,
Hmm.
oh my gosh. Yeah.
There's a lot. I mean,
Can't
and
complain.
she deserves it. She does.
Yeah.
I mean, think
She's on
about when Ahsoka first walked down that ramp, in the Clone Wars movie. We're like, really?
such a
Really?
cool thing. Yeah.
Because I wasn't taken to her right away. It's like, wait a minute, what? Sky Guy? No. Yeah. Now I'm all about it. I mean, I think it works. And you got to definitely see now over these years how much growth. And you can't say that about every single character that we have, that we've been able to actually watch them grow.
Yeah.
So yes, she's Vader. Yes. Oh yeah. Vader is definitely fleshed out. No pun intended either. That was bad. Sorry. I love him. You guys know this. So Vader's my guy. Yeah, definitely. Well, with
Vader
Vader,
is the poster child for Star Wars.
right? Yeah, no. But speaking of Vader, we did get more Vader, the Darth Vader comics, which you pointed out that I didn't put on my list at the time. So those comics that feature him trying to figure out more about Luke, no surprise there, and hunting down Padme through Sabe. That just makes me want more Sabe content and more Amidala content,
Yeah.
because who knew there was like this huge following, like literally, for Amidala. Like so much where they would lay their life down to protect her memory.
Even Kara has the Alderanian tear, so she has a connection to that.
True.
And I just like all the connections that they're putting together. They're not just throwing a story out there and letting it flap in the wind. They're connecting everything, which sometimes happened in Legends.
Yeah. I think with Legends, I think eventually towards the end, before George sold it out to Disney, I think it was getting better and more connective. There was a lot of novels that were coming out that actually connected with the Clone Wars. And I read a lot of those because I was so into the Clone Wars. And those to me fit. Didn't Sabe call? Yes, the Amidalans. That is correct. Yeah, I want more of that.
Yeah.
I definitely want to know what,
Vader
how that began.
He didn't kill them all, so they're still around.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
They should be.
Yeah.
I would love a whole Amidalan Sabe-centric series. I think that would be great. Kirsten Knightley it's Kirsten, right? Or is it Kira? Kira.
Yeah.
Kira Knightley still looks great. She's still a very active actress.
Yeah.
Bring her in.
Yeah.
I mean, she's done action roles. I mean, she's done Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's right.
So, bring her in. I would be all about it. I'm good with that. Look at me, I'm good with that.
You're
absolutely.
Good with that?
Oh yeah. So also in 2020, we got the Project Luminous being announced as the High Republic. Oh, yay. So that was like a big to do. We actually got like a video type trailer for it.
Trailer, yeah.
And that was so cool. So much work has gone into this project that we don't even know about, or that they kept hidden from us. It's phenomenal. The art, like they really, here's my thing. Well, because we know, not that I want to jump ahead, but we do know that one of the projects, we don't know when it's going to happen, but one of the projects that was announced is Acolyte, which is set somewhere to begin 50 years before the prequels start, 50 years at the end of this era of the High Republic. So it's towards the end of that. So that makes sense that they went through this amount of work, not just writing stories, but capturing what these Jedi look like, capturing what their beacon looked like. There's a starlight beacon, which has been revealed. It's actually the front page now of the official Star Wars site. So if you go on it, it's right there.
Yeah.
So they went through all that trouble for a reason. I think this is something that can carry over into that series. So they have actual.
That's the, excuse me, the Sith or the dark side story.
Right. It's going to be featured more dark side. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, and I'm actually more curious and excited about that right now, I think, going forward. And it's something we don't have a lot of. Like, how many dark centric
Yeah.
things
We
do we
only had
have?
interludes in the aftermath
Correct.
novels.
Mm-hmm.
And even those were kind of like, okay, what's going on? Some of it for me, like who are these
Right.
people? I want to know more. So hopefully,
Well, yeah.
yeah,
And that's
we'll
just
just
it. And
answer
this
that.
stuff has been going on. And that's
Yeah.
just it. I mean, if you look at the history, which you will be looking at shortly in a few days, if you're into that era and if you're going to go into it and read it, because there's going to be comics too. There's actually children's edition books for it too. There's so much content
For the High
for
Republic?
this. Yes, a
Oh, okay.
lot that's coming
Wow.
out. It's nuts. They put a lot of effort into this, but like I said, I'm wondering if it's because, and thanks, Eric, it is going to be developed by Leslie Headland, who did Russian Doll or Dolls, sorry, and it's going to be more woman centric, which I think is cool. I'm hoping we get some Night Sister action in there. That would be cool for me because, again,
Oh,
that's
you're talking
limited.
about the show, Acolyte.
Yeah,
Okay.
Acolyte.
Okay.
Yep, that is going to be set right about 50
I'm
years at the
thinking
end.
okay, I'm thinking book. I forgot. There's a
No, that's
show.
going to be an actual, like a live action
Yeah,
series.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
So that's going to be interesting to see these characters and these things that they've drawn and are writing about come to life.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that same feeling I think I got when I saw Cobb Vanth. He's only someone that you've
Yeah.
read about, and all of a sudden, bam, there he
He's
is walking
there.
around. It's like, whoa, and he's so good looking. Even when he takes off the helmet, he's got great hair. So it's not just a Skywalker thing. It's, it can happen to other people. Um, yes, and there is a
My name is Luke
short story
Skywalker.
in
I'm here
Star
to
Wars
rescue you.
Insider.
Sorry.
No, it's
I
true.
thought about somebody who took off his helmet. He still had good hair. He was the first.
Yeah, and so does Ben Solo.
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know,
That was even better.
yeah, and they got nice hair. So I guess people in the galaxy far, far away have better hair products than we do, because you could wear a helmet all day and take it off
All
and
day and take it off and you look good. You're not a greasy mop.
nope. Don't know how they do it, but
Or you can
But
be
yes.
Boba Fett and just have it shaved off and you're okay.
Yeah, it's probably better to go that way.
Yeah.
But no, I will say this: Din his helmet hair.
He had
He
helmet
takes-
hair.
Yeah, he does.
So
He
they're
has
being
messy
a little
hair
more
under there.
realistic with the helmets. Yeah, you're right.
But yes, there is a short story for High Republic in Star Wars Insider 199 or issue 199. Yeah, they're really,
Ooh.
ramping it up. I mean, they're really trying to highlight this. And I mean, all I can say is that it's worth it. You got to read Light of the Jedi. Here's my thought process. Being that I was able to get them early, read them in order. Don't skip around, really, because they are you said this at the top of the show, you're loving how things coming out now are more connective, right?
Okay.
These are extremely connected.
Oh, so pay attention, right?
Yes. I mean,
no.
but it's fabulous because I don't think we've gotten anything like that except for this so far that is extremely connected. Other than The Mandalorian, but that's not a book. So,
It's
not yet
Are
anyway.
they coming out with a book? Yeah.
The junior novel is already, or will be out in a few days. I received that. I haven't read it yet.
Oh,
But the
already?
adult version is not out yet. The Del Rey copy. This one I have is Disney.
The junior novels sometimes are better.
I don't disagree. Which order should they be read in? Now you're going to make me take out my Tarkin's Top Shelf notes. Don't do that, Eric. So
Okay.
Light of the Jedi is first, and then I believe it's Justina Ireland is second. And then the next one is Claudia Gray's. I don't know the titles, but it's... So you want to read Charles Soule's first, which is Light of the Jedi. Then you want to read Justina Ireland's second. And then Claudia Gray's third.
Okay.
So whatever those two titles are, I'm sorry. So we were actually told through our Disney publicist contact that that's the best way to go about it. Try not to jump around. because there's a reason why they're being released at the way they are.
Right. So you won't read them out of order. Okay.
Correct. So they're trying to get us prepped so we release at the right time when the books are coming out, but also because kind of like, how George says once he finished his 6 episodes, as much as we like to watch them in release order, he says they should be watched, episode 1 through 6.
George did?
Yeah. Oh, this was on
1 through 6?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, weird.
This was at one of the documentaries at the end of Revenge of the Sith. They're,
I don't
now
know.
that he's finished them.
Well,
I know.
okay. I disagree because I think the reveal of Darth Vader, you are my father.
Yep.
And then that's one.
But that's how we experience it, though.
That's just it. So yeah, that's just our preference. So I get it.
Right.
Some people prefer it the other way.
Because had he had his way financially, he probably would have told them 1 through 6.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't have that. He took a shot.
Yeah.
So. But yeah. So interesting stuff coming on. What else do we have here? Let's see.
You had
we got the Dr. Aphra audio drama.
That was so fun.
Like, who expected that? Like, seriously, who expected that? I didn't.
I loved her. That whole thing made her so much more fun. And I bet people would like to see a live action of Dr. Aphra. Yeah.
I mean, and that version, the audio was my intro to her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had read the first few comic books, but then I stopped. So it was, and for some reason I had in my head it was a news story. And when I was listening to it, I'm like, wait a minute, this is just the comic books. But I was glad to finish it because I never finished her stories in the comic book series. So, but is it done, or are there more for her? Or is her series done? Does anybody know?
I don't know if they're going to do more. I would like to think that there would be more. I would like to see her have a place somewhere in live action. I think she deserves that. But I've also been
as far as the comic book series, is her story done? Are they?
I haven't heard if they're doing more or not. Okay. I wouldn't put it past them though to do it, because that technically the comics are her home, so to speak. You know what I mean? That's where she really takes place. It's still going.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Eric.
See, there you go.
And he also said that George considers 1 through 6 all one story, which
all one movie. Well, that's how you say all the time. It's all one movie.
They're all just chapters to tell one whole long story. And Alyssa Wong, and it's his favorite. See, people love Aphra.
They do.
She is such a, and now actually having a voice in my head of how she sounds, I like her because she's so relatable to our current world. Do you know what I'm saying?
Is Vader still alive in the current series with her?
Yes, at least I thought so. I thought he was definitely still alive. Well, I don't know if she's technically working for him, because he thinks she's dead, if I'm not mistaken. Because he thought, you know what I'm saying? Because he lets her out the airlock. Remember? But she was able. She was prepared for that situation. She's a very resourceful individual.
Well, then good. She escaped him. Hopefully he doesn't run into her. She wouldn't last long.
Hopefully she doesn't run into him.
She won't. Either way.
Right. So what else did we get? Sure. 2020. Okay. We did get behind the gallery of season 1 of The Mandalorian, and that was a trip. That
taught us a whole new way of making television, and I was just amazed, being a gamer, that they were using game technology to make this TV show, and I swore it was all outside. Now, that being said, when you watch the one from season 2, they do admit to doing some outdoor shots.
They had to.
Yeah, the one with when they take the child to the Jedi
Tython.
Tython, that place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was shot outdoors, some of it. Not all of it,
Yep.
but some of it.
Not all of it. But yeah, I mean, they technically had to. But season 1, we got, episodes of Behind the Gallery. And that stuff just blew my mind, especially getting to
Yeah.
hear Dave blow these directors away with his knowledge and getting to actually watch it.
Mhm.
Watch, like, be a fly in the room and actually watch and be like, because we all hang on his every word, right? I mean, I know I do.
Oh,
When I go to sit at a panel and listen to him talk, we're like, and he's so, like, just nonchalant, like, yeah, this is what happens. And we're like, you know, um, it's funny because I do follow Anne, Mrs. Filoni, though she doesn't go by that. Anne, I would say, is probably Dave's better half. Sorry, I got to meet her. I haven't really spoken to him directly, only for a few minutes, but I got to speak to her for like an hour. So I'm gonna go with Anne is Dave's better half because I know her. So I'm biased. But we do follow one another on Facebook, and she was posting, I think it was right before New Year's, and this cracked me up. I mean, people have to
yeah.
understand she's married to Dave, okay? So I can't imagine what it's like to, be with him on a daily basis and
And he
deal with
can't
Star Wars,
tell
live
her
and breathe it.
anything. I don't it seems like he doesn't tell her anything based on that tweet you're talking about.
Well, what I'm talking about is on Facebook, she posted in regards to, bless you. I'm sorry, was that a sneeze?
Well, just
Or was
cough,
that a cough?
actually.
Sorry. Well, bless you anyway. And may the force be with you. But anyway,
Yes.
she was saying how there's nothing like being, trying to take 10 minutes for yourself in the bathroom without hearing Dave say, this would be a great Star Wars idea. And he's giving her story ideas as she's trying to use the bathroom. And I'm like laughing, reading this, going, oh my God, this is like my son and I. Like, one of us will like be in the bathroom and we're walking by the hallway. Hey, did you ever think about? And it's like, I'm in the bathroom. Like, can you wait till I get out?
Captive audience.
But right. But it's nice to know that, us normal people can
Do that.
relate to what
Yeah.
someone like Dave does. But it's like, she was basically just like, can I just use the bathroom? But like I said, to live in that world, I don't know. Yes, and Anne is definitely a wonderful storyteller in her own right. Absolutely. So it only makes sense that he would try and run a story by her.
Oh, yeah.
Correct?
Mhm.
So, I mean, she has influenced quite a bit when it comes to Star Wars for him. I mean,
I love her for changing Ahsoka's look because, yeah, the tube top wasn't cutting it for me, and that's all
mm-mm.
her getting rid of that, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh yeah. She's definitely awesome, and she definitely deserves a lot more, and she's more of a behind the scenes person, but
Yeah.
I actually would like a behind the gallery of just her and him talking it out. I think that would be fun.
The Filonis,
Right?
the series.
The series. I love it. We have to run that by them. That would be great. Oh
It's
my
all
gosh.
just Dave walking by the bathroom door. What about this?
Exactly. Oh my gosh, that was great. Oh, but no, yeah. So that just made me laugh because again, they are like everybody else. They put their pants on one leg at a time, right? So
Yeah.
they have normal situations going on there too. So anyway, I thought that was funny. So so what else did we get? Oh, in books also we got the Poe Dameron book, Free Fall, where we
Yeah.
got to learn some history on Poe and, of course, his parents. So we got a little
Yeah.
bit more of that. We
We
also
got
got to know
the
about
Spice
Zori.
Runner.
Yep, we got all that.
You're a
I know
Spice
there
Runner?
was. I
That
know
was
there
so
was
much
quite a
fun.
bit of discourse on that decision.
Decision? What
But
decision?
making him a spice runner.
Oh, well, he kind of fell into it
Oh yeah, it
accidentally.
wasn't like
It
I
wasn't
don't
like,
think
"I'm
he.
gonna be a spice runner."
No, he just wanted to be a pilot. He wanted to get off
Yeah.
Yavin.
And he
You
got
know,
stuck in he made a decision that got him stuck in the wrong place at the wrong time. And
typical
then he
teen,
got
right?
I know, and then he got emotionally invested. So, and he got
Yeah,
tricked.
he got emotionally invested in Sorry, not
Yeah.
so much in what. Sorry, which is typically Poe. I mean, think about it though.
And he was young.
He
Everybody
was
does
young.
stupid stuff
I
when they're
mean,
young.
here's the thing. Poe got quickly invested in Zori, and he was very vocal about it to a
Mhm.
degree, more vocal than we're used to seeing. Correct?
Right.
Well, at least we got to see it in the novel. We didn't really get to see it so much in the film. But think about this: who else became emotionally invested in one person to join a cause? Luke Skywalker. He saw Leia in a hologram, and he's like, all of a sudden, he's all about it.
Oh, yeah. We
Oh,
gotta
I'm there.
save
I'm
the
sold.
princess. Yeah.
And then lo and behold, that's your sister. My sister, your sister. Oh, I'm just, it's one of those things that always makes me giggle because, but again, he thought he was going to go rescue a damsel in distress, and she was no damsel in distress. She rescued them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, so there's those parallels there in between Poe and Luke for that moment. So, yeah. So that was a good novel. If you haven't read it, I say read it. I'm really hoping they come out with more that are connected to that, because now I want to learn more about Zori and Zori's family
Yeah.
history.
He's got a
That right
story there.
there,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember when we talked about this, Mark and I said, Poe's great now, but hello, Zori? Like, that's a story right there. Especially, again, it focuses around a maternal relationship, how that relationship played out in between her and her mom, and it's passed down, from mother to daughter. Again, that's something we don't get in Star Wars.
Well, speaking of mother and daughters, because I just thought of something that we had been asking for since Solo, is
Mm-hmm.
we Memphis Nest. I want that story.
Yes. I mean, I think that really needs to be, and I'm surprised that wasn't under discussion. Like, you think about all the announcements that rolled out this
Mhm,
year,
mhm.
and nothing regarding that. Like, that is a nugget that was thrown at us, and how much of the fandom wants that story.
They just
There's
latched
a
onto
very
her.
loud section that
Yeah,
want that.
yeah. Well, maybe like we've said before, because you're not hearing about it is probably because it's in the works. So
This is true. This is true. I mean, who knows? But there is definitely some depth there. And as Claudia Gray would say, snowflakes.
what
Um,
if they did a Solo too and Memphis Nest was part of it? That would be cool.
hmm. I like that, but I just think she deserves her own. I know I'm being very
Yeah,
selfish there.
you're
Just think
right.
I think she has enough weight, seriously, to
Oh,
carry
yeah. You need the
herself.
story of, her growing up and how she acquired her mother's helmet or
Hmm.
what and the whole being
And
part of
that
that.
relates very well to Zori, because Zori
It
did the
does.
same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So and
Mm,
it's two different spectrums, like two different, you
groups
know what I
of
mean?
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm very curious on all that, but that's definitely something that needs to be in the works. What else did we get?
Let's
We
see.
mentioned the comics. Oh, we got the Clone War stories, Light and Dark, which basically were all adaptations of the Clone War series, all of it. And it was written in a book. And if you listen to the audio version, which I suggest,
Oh,
because I think
yeah.
it's the better,
Okay. We
yeah,
haven't
they
done that
actually
yet.
have the voice actors reading them. Sam Witwer, he does
No.
a few. Jat does a few. Catherine Tabor, they all do
They're
this.
just reading the stories then. Oh,
Yes.
that's great. I didn't know
Hmm.
this. You didn't tell me
I thought I did.
this.
Probably leaked out.
You
Um,
probably did. It leaked out of my brain, not yours.
and the last story in those stories is written by the lovely Anne Convery, Dave Filoni's better half, and that's titled Bug, and that has to do with some Clone Wars, obviously, but with the Night Sisters specifically. And
Oh,
it's epic. Well, she's very much into witchy things.
yeah.
And I think she does really well with that. And there's a lot of different fairy tale themes that we're all very familiar with that she uses to tell that story. Thumbelina is one of it, and which I absolutely love Thumbelina.
Mm,
But that's mixed in there in her own Star Warsy way. So she does use
okay.
a lot of fairy tale themes to tell this
Cool.
story, and it's yeah, she does awesome. She needs some more room in Star Wars, I think personally, but again, I'm biased. Um,
Oh my
what else was there?
goodness.
So that was good. But like I said, recommend audio version if you can. It's just, again, who doesn't want to hear James Arnold Taylor read to them or Ashley
Oh,
read to them?
mm,
So,
yeah, exactly.
exactly. So, what else did we get? Oh, well, of course, we got season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Oh my gosh.
But now we have to wait a whole nother year. Like, we won't even get it this year.
When the Mandalorian rises again in season 3, we will continue to keep Friday sacred.
Absolutely. Well, as
But
you said, everyone was celebrating Mandalorian Monday or Mando Monday. And I'm like, no, Mandalorian's Friday.
Fridays now. Yeah.
I love it on
That
Friday.
was so much fun. And I got to watch all of them again with my husband, except for the last 3 he had to watch on the plane going back to work. But um I really enjoyed that because honestly, I maybe watched them once or twice and then
Right.
that was it. So it was good to revisit the whole series. And there were some things I had forgotten about. I'm like, "Oh, that was cool. I forgot about that." And
Right.
there's one thing that immediately tied me into Jedi Fallen Order game, and that was the seeing stone at the Jedi
Tython.
temple, that Tython that he
Mm-hmm.
took him to looks very similar to spheres that are in the the game, the temples in the game. It's
Okay.
kind of cool. Yeah, yeah.
That is cool.
So,
Again, the whole connection this season specifically with The Mandalorian,
mm,
which you mentioned at the very top of the show, how the connective tissue, especially like right now with the content that we're getting, is remarkable.
yeah.
For me, as someone who not just does this podcast, but, specifically does one just with books, this proves to me that you can get directors and storytellers telling live action or on screen, we should say on screen storytelling for Star Wars, going by some of the stuff that happens in the books, and it can be successful. Because what they did in the very first chapter for season 2 is they brought in Cobb Vanth, which people that never read the Aftermath series
Mhm.
or trilogy, excuse me, by Chuck Wendig, didn't even need to read it, which I'm not saying not to read it, but I'm saying you didn't even need to read it because
Yeah.
he tells his own narrative really within like a minute or two, his version of it, um, and basically brings you up to speed with who he is and what his character, where his character's
How he
been.
got the armor and all of that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see, this can be done. You can do this. Because the only other time that I've seen this happen, and it's not even on screen, well, not technically, is with Vi. Vi
Yeah.
Moretti is
Mhm.
in Galaxy's Edge. You took a character completely from a book. So if you've
Yeah.
never read the book, you would never know who this girl is running around Galaxy's Edge as Leia's
Right.
most efficient and best spy.
Right.
It's crazy to me. So, I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, to me, this
Yeah.
connective tissue that they were able to do with The Mandalorian this season alone, I mean, again, it ties to prequels. It ties to the sequel trilogy. Come on. I mean, Jar Snokes. I mean,
Mm.
M count. Hello,
I
midichlorians.
know.
I mean, there was just so much
It
happening.
ties even oh, I can't think of the character's name that that comedian plays. Um in oh, I'm so bad. Mando and him were standing together and the officer was talking to them, like, how come you're not answering me kind of thing. and so his ears he can't hear because they got hurt in the Battle of Tanab, and so
Oh my gosh.
nobody's gonna get that
No.
unless they
I'm trying to
remember
remember
that
who this was.
that's what
Bill Burr. Thank you,
that's him,
Eric.
Bill Burr. Thank you, but that's where Billy D. Williams plays
Lando.
Lando. Don't laugh. That's
There's
Lando
just
talks
too much
about.
content right
I
now
know.
for
I'm like,
Star Wars,
yeah,
right?
I can't remember
It
it
was
all. I
much
need
easier when we
notes.
only had 6 films. Now it's like,
Mayfield, that guy. I love his character. He was
no,
great. Yeah, thank you,
that,
Eric. You're
thank you. I said Lando too. And yes, I will echo what Eric just said about bringing in Admiral Ray Sloan. I am all about that. I think she deserves some on-screen time,
yeah.
not
She's
just
in
in video games.
Squadron.
I know, but
Okay.
we need her in some
Yeah.
sort of live action series, in a
Yeah.
film, something. She's earned
It
it.
might happen.
I think she would fit right now in the Mandalorian seasons. I don't
Yeah.
know if where they're gonna start off
But
in
she's
season 3.
off in the unknown
Outer
regions right
Rim.
now.
She's out there. Right.
Yeah.
But again, who is Moff Gideon taking orders from? He's definitely taking orders from someone high up, right?
Someone higher up.
You
Yeah, we
know?
don't know
hmm
yet. So
But
there's
yeah,
always
I
a
mean,
bigger fish.
always. Absolutely. But yeah, sticking on that whole season 2 of The Mandalorian, like we said. So not only does it connect to obviously books, it connects to, like we said, the sequel trilogy, the prequel, Clone Wars, it connects to Rebels. I mean, and then they even threw the name Thrawn out there. I mean, like, who else wasn't gasping when they said
I
that, right?
know. We're
I
like,
mean,
what,
come on.
Ron?
Because, but see, now I was like, well, then where's Ezra? Like, that's all.
That's right.
I was like, all
Yeah.
right, well, what about Ezra? Yes, Aftermath. We were just talking
But
about
then we
that.
learned
Yes,
that that happens before she goes to look for Ezra. So she's trying to get clues as
correct.
to where he might have gone. So that was a huge connection. That was so cool.
Oh,
Of course,
absolutely.
of
Then we
course,
get,
not to mention that we finally see Ahsoka live action and we're blown away. I mean,
well, yeah, and that whole story behind the scenes stuff
yeah.
is fantastic to see. How
Oh,
excited and nervous Rosario was to do this, but also to hear straight from Dave that, she did her research. She went back
yeah.
and she watched everything so she could study the character. And I love hearing that. We also got, I think it was on the official Star Wars site, they had like a 2-minute video of Giancarlo talking about his inspirations for Moff Gideon. And
Mm,
if you ever just listen to him talk about anything, he is always on, like
yeah.
always on. He
Yeah.
is so full of energy and he's so great. And he mentioned too how he did a lot of research on Moff Tarkin. Really went back, and that was his inspiration to
It's
bringing
written
Gideon
Tarkin.
to life. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, that's like fantastic. So, but yeah, no, it's incredible to see when they give us the behind the gallery of these things that they're doing. Bryce was so excited. You know what I mean? I mean,
Oh, I know. She was
and
awesome.
seeing her talk to Frog Lady, and
Yeah.
Frogman,
Yeah.
and you're gonna do this, and then you're gonna hug, and then you're gonna look at and she's so cute, Bryce, and the way she talked about in her face, like Bo Katan, like I got to direct Bo Katan, like Katie Sackhoff, like she was like so blown away that she got that
She got
opportunity.
to do that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I mean, it's just awesome, and to see again going back to Ahsoka, like knowing that she was sweating, like if you read the article, I think it was with I don't know if it was Vanity Fair or Variety. Start with the V. It was one of them. How she
One of
was
the
literally
these.
sweating,
Okay. Yeah.
coming out in full garb because George was there.
Oh,
George, not
well,
just Dave, but
yeah.
George.
Who's
You
gonna
know,
not?
right? And
He's
she goes,
not
they
gonna
weren't
be
even looking at
a
me. They were like,
puddle.
yeah.
The
So,
master is there. Yeah, you're gonna be a puddle.
well, yeah, I would. I'd be like, am I wearing deodorant?
Thinking of Moff Gideon again though, and how he's playing him, I think of those two bike troopers that have the child, you know,
Mm.
that they're punching them.
Oh,
But
in season 1.
they keep getting I'm sorry. I guess because I watched season 1. They keep getting communications about, well, he just killed his officer because, he didn't do what he's supposed to do or something. They keep getting communications about Gideon killing officers, kind of like Vader.
Well, he has to have someone to idolize, right? Um, but
Anyway, that was
yeah,
a
well,
tangent. Let it
that's
go.
okay. And I agree. Season 2 needs an extension with the gallery.
I
Absolutely.
hope they do, because that was kind of, yeah, I was hoping they were
It
gonna. I
was
kept
very,
looking.
it was like a condensed, it was a George Lucas faster, more intense
More
version.
intense, yes. And
It
so
was done in an hour.
they totally left out the biggest secret in the galaxy.
Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. Yeah. Well, like I said, I think they did that purposely. So to avoid any type of leaks, there are,
But that came out
you know,
after the end of the series, so why I was kinda looking forward to the making
well,
of
this
Luke
was,
Skywalker
well, I
returns.
think they did the behind the gallery during the filming of season 2. Because if you look, the more they go in to that,
Mhm.
there you start seeing the masks. People actually wearing their face
Oh,
coverings
yeah,
because
yeah, I did
so
notice
you
that.
you do see that happening while you're watching that
Well, then
more and
you and I
more.
were talking earlier today that maybe they're saving that for a special just by itself.
I think they should. I
They
do.
need to,
I do.
yeah.
Yeah. No. So yeah, season 2, like I said, I don't know how they did it, but hats off the fact that they can connect it to every other medium out there. Yes, more Luke. Like I want Luke. Here,
Please,
he's with you
Marlene.
on that. Um,
Good.
you know, can I
Please
just say? I just want to say it too. Regardless of wording and how we take it in context or out of context, I am just excited that Mark Hamill is excited that the responses was, he knows that the fans were well receiving with what he did. And I mean, I honestly going into it, not that episode, but when we had talked after Tython and we knew Grogu connected to someone heard that call. I
Yeah,
really, we talked about this and that show isn't out yet, but we did talk about it, how, and I remember us saying this, that out of all that we know Jedi wise, it would make the most sense if it was Luke, but we both were like, well, how would you do that?
yeah,
Like we were like, how would you do that? Never
yeah.
once did it cross my mind, well, they'll de-age him because they've done it before. But
Yeah,
never once did that cross my mind that they would do
I
that.
I just yeah, that was the best surprise ever, and my child is screaming at me, "Mom, calm down. Mom, calm down." Let me hear it. And you
My
too.
son, oh yeah. Well, because as soon as I saw the X-Wing,
I'm like, "That's
I'm
that's
like,
and you're hitting them."
it's Luke. He's like, just shut up,
Shut
mom,
up
and
and
just watch.
watch.
I'm like, dude, but it's Luke. Like,
I'm
oh, and then
kicking
when you hear,
myself for not I'm kicking myself for not doing a reaction video because Mark
me
Hamill
too.
would have watched it and
It's okay. I posted a picture of me totally blubbering. I was a
you did that,
mess. I
but
was so
I didn't think to record my reaction because I
so
wasn't
many
expecting
emotions.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
So many. Well, you know what I think it was? I mean, as much as it was the whole goodbye thing, it was the whole episode was such a thrill and such a suspense and
Oh,
the
I
whole
know.
busting in and trying to not even engage with the dark troopers, trying to avoid that. And I'm going to
All
give a
hope
lot of
was
credit.
lost, basically. At the end,
Right.
it was like, "They're done. That's it. They're done."
Right. And Pedro did such a great job with no, no, no. Like the way he's freaking out and trying to close those blasters. I'm like I was freaking out for him. And when the one just kept punching his mask, I'm
His
thinking,
face, I'm like, "Good thing
and
you have
you're
that
like
best
seeing the
car
back
on,
of his
dude."
head go.
I know,
And
into the
I'm like, he's going to have such a migraine or mental damage after that,
Yeah, maybe.
So I think it was just all of that. And then
Oh
you
my
get there,
god.
then the parting's going to happen. And I had a meltdown. I had a complete emotional meltdown. I mean, it
Poor
is, but
Luke Skywalker.
that's what they're going for. For the first time, I think we really have a drama with Star Wars.
Oh, I know.
But let's just say this though, for those that are like, you know, all the discourse going on. and all the drama. George Lucas will even tell you Star Wars is a space opera, which means
yeah.
it's a drama.
Yeah.
You're going to get this type of thing going on.
Now, Fatmatic mentions in the chat, and thanks for joining us, Fatmatic, but more Boba because, yeah, now I have a crush on Boba Fett. I don't know.
Move over, Luke.
Move over.
Make way for Boba.
I think I've watched the scene of him fighting the stormtroopers on Typhon.
With his gaffy stick?
Yeah. Okay, first of all, the soundtrack,
that was phenomenal.
Boba's theme is amazing. I don't know what it is about that, but it just fits him perfectly. And the whole time it's playing while he's hitting things with the gaffy stick and cracking their helmets up. I mean, it's really good. I mean, those fight scenes are really good. And then he finally gets the armor on and it's even better.
Yeah, I'm going to say that. Yeah, I think that one moment, that whole little sequence there, definitely makes up for the hype that was so around that character for Empire Strikes Back that we never really got to see him do anything.
Yeah, he fell into the Sarlacc pit, and that was that.
Right, literally cracking skulls. Yeah. Yes,
literally,
absolutely. But I think now he lives up to the pedestal that so many fans put him on, if that makes sense. Exactly. But my son will still tell you, according to my son, Jango Fett to him still has the better backstory.
Okay.
But of course, you got to remember the same actor plays both right now.
Well, the chain code thing was so cool, proving that was his armor. I love that.
Well, that's what my son is getting at, was like, if you look at the backstory, Jango
fought
really does.
The Mandalorian Wars, he was, it's awesome.
Yep. All of it. So, I'm all about it. And now, yes, Book of Boba, like that was unexpected. So
it's so badass. Him and Fennec in that. Fennec. I mean, did I say Fennec?
Move over, Bib.
Fennec.
Yeah. That was unexpected. I'm not gonna lie. But see, now I had many private conversations about this. That moment, okay, the dethroning, if you want to call it, of Bib. And now I'm a child of the 80s. I was born in mid-70s, but my memory is hazy from 74 to 80. But 80 onward, it's there. So, but did anyone think of that whole throne scene once Boba gets that, the way he's sitting there and his legs are spread out and he's got his hands on his hips. And then Fennec takes a seat up alongside of him there on the armrest, if you want to call it that. Anyone else get Conan vibes? Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah.
Conan vibes. Like I was thinking, like that is Conan the Barbarian right there, which fits him, by the way, with that gaffy stick. Just saying that was my total 80s vibe. I'm like, and not that I was a big Conan fan, but my brother is 2 years older than I, and most of the time, because he was the oldest child, he got pick of what we watched. So,
well,
yep.
But now you have exposure to that.
Yeah. But James Earl Jones is in Conan too, so there you go.
Oh, he is. You're right. Well, I think the last 3 episodes are just my favorite of all. I really enjoy them. The whole, and then of course Luke Skywalker. Can I just say that was so well done to the point where the X-Wing shows up. And then, Car is like, 1 X-Wing, yay, that's going to help, but we're all like, yeah, it's going to help.
Well, yeah, because Cara's like, 1 X-Wing, really? And I'm thinking, because you only need one.
You only need one, because as long as there's a... And then I knew it had to be a Force user because those Dark Troopers stopped and turned around. And if they're imbued with the Force, then they could sense him coming. And then, of course, we see Grogu perk up because he senses him coming. And we just needed confirmation. When you watch all the people doing their reaction videos, they're all like, okay, 1 X-Wing. Yeah, is it? But then we weren't yet sure. And then, and Mark tweets this. I know you were, but Mark tweets about this. And then the reveal of a caped figure. And then And then, oh, there's a lightsaber. And then as soon as I saw a lightsaber, I'm like, but it's not 2, so it's not Ahsoka. It's only 1, but we don't know what color it is. And then we see the green.
Mhm.
And then you lose it.
The glove. Yep.
And
Well,
then, yeah, it was awesome.
that whole scene was epic. And to me, I know it really harkens back. Not that I want to say back, it's probably the wrong term to say, but we did get the sequels before we got this. So that's why I'm saying back.
Yeah.
You hear in the back of your head Luke's voice saying, and I was Luke Skywalker, a legend,
Yeah.
there it is. And
Yeah.
the way he moves
In his
there,
prime. Yeah.
absolutely, because he moves identically to his father.
Yes.
When he was in his prime.
Yeah.
Same movement, same swiftness, the way he even crushes the Dark Trooper, very similar to Darth Vader when he hears Palpatine tell him, well, in your anger, you killed her. And he crushes those droids and all those things from the inside out. That's exactly what Luke did. It was the same type of, it was crazy to me how much
take his helmet. He had that hood over his eyes the whole time,
covering him.
which I thought was cool. I mean, they were there. I know that was probably to, prolong the reveal, but I took it as just a cool thing that he's using the Force to fight those droids and not his eyesight because of how
your eyes don't trust them.
Yes.
Exactly.
I think it's just a callback to his training with Obi-Wan. So.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. And I'm going to say there's so many parallels to that ending scene.
Yes.
Where Dave and John must have really worked together on how to mimic, moments very similar that have come before. I mean, you have that almost like a Saw Gerrera moment when he rescues Jin. Come, child, come.
Yes.
And he said that, come, little one. It's very similar.
Yeah.
I loved that. And then the whole goodbye moment, which still crushes me, between Din and Grogu was very similar to Anakin and Shmi. The whole go now,
it was also
be brave.
It was also taking off his mask was similar to Luke and Anakin.
Yep. Absolutely. Looking upon him with his own eyes. And that's something that I think Grogu had been wanting for a while. He'd been, the way he would look up at him, especially when they were eating, and he's like trying to get under there. What do you look like under there?
And Luke
are you all
witnessed
gross
that,
under
so
there? Like, what do you look
thought
like?
about that,
Yeah.
He witnessed it, and he had to have thought, had a flashback to, his similar experience.
Exactly. But I think it's good because now Grogu knows exactly what he looks like. So if he does find his way back, he knows exactly who he's looking for.
Yeah.
He was memorizing him. Absolutely.
I could tell it was. Yeah, totally.
And I really do believe at some point in time they will be reunited. He has to go home to daddy. Right?
Yeah.
At some point. Otherwise, he'll perish at that temple, and I don't want that to happen.
I don't know. We'll find out.
So I'll be very upset over that. Sorry.
We all will. That's what everybody was thinking. No, don't go with him.
Don't
we
go
know
there.
what happens.
Well, like I said, he escaped one Skywalker during the Purge, only to be saved by another, but then to die at another, to die at the hands of the last one. No, please, no. So yeah, so after that, or I want to say during that time, we also got, again, more Star Wars content in 2020. We got the 10 new, actually 11 if you count the Book of Boba Fett, Star Wars project announcements. And the entire world, screamed in joy. I gotta have my moment. My moment. Hayden's back.
Yeah, I had my Skywalker moment. You had your.
So now I have that. So as of right now, we're just one day closer to the Kenobi series and Hayden Christensen coming back. I love reading the little articles about, the joy of that, because both Ewan and Anakin have basically left it as they're just excited to be working together again. cry.
I'm
So
so
I'm very, very
excited
happy.
for this. It's going to be so cool.
It's going to be
And then
epic.
we got a whole little, they've already started on the Andor series. So we got to see some of that, little snippets of sneak peek of that.
That looks
It
fantastic, by
does.
the
He is
way.
so cool, and I'm so excited for more K2SO. Just I love him.
Yeah, we didn't get enough of him. And
Uh-huh.
that's, I mean, again, I think I'm really looking forward to that series because I will say this. I'm trying to say it in a way where it's not coming across as, bashing anyway, because I never want to be that way. I always want to be positive.
Yeah.
But for me personally, out of the Disney era films that have come out, just the films, Rogue One is for me the standout one. There's just something about that from start to finish. It feels so like right, if that makes sense. That
Yeah.
was my go-to film
It
for
vibes with you more. Yeah. And that could change over the years. We've all done that,
mhm.
for,
Well, typically for New
yeah.
Year's Eve, I'll watch A New Hope,
Right.
and time it for the Death Star to blow up, and there we go. But for me, this time around, it was Rogue One. And like I said, I haven't sat down and watched it from start to finish in a while,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was blown away with how Gareth Edwards was able to give us these, what is it? How many characters is it? 5? If you count K2, 5.
Mhm.
5 leading characters in 2.5 hours, give or take a few minutes,
Yeah.
become fully invested in them, lose them, and just become completely devastated that you lost them. But yet at the same time, respect the loss because of what they sacrificed to get what they
Mhm.
need to get. And it's such a complete story. It
Well,
just
it's
blew
the
my mind
story we
again.
all wanted. How did they steal the Death Star plans?
Hmm.
The story we didn't know we wanted, I guess, basically, because,
Right.
yeah. So, and now they need to do another one where we find out how many Bothans died. I want that.
I would watch that. Hmm. Yes. So I'm
Mm.
excited. And Eric did want to remind us, and I'm surprised you didn't say anything. We got Star Wars
Oh,
Squadrons in
I kind
2020.
of mentioned it a little bit, but yes, Squadrons. Oh, and Jedi
Hmm.
Fallen Order came out this last year
Did it
too.
come out in 2020?
Yes, I thought it did. Maybe I'm wrong.
Thought it came out at the end of
I
2019.
think you're right. Christmas last year.
Okay,
Okay,
so right in
not
line
last year, but the
with
year before.
yeah, it came right out in line with the Rise
Yeah,
of Skywalker, correct?
you're right. You're right. My
Okay,
bad.
there's
But
just so
yes,
much.
Squadrons. I know. I'm like, "Ah." So yes, the Squadrons game, which I haven't been able to play like I wanted to, but um, so I'm not done with the campaign yet. But it is an awesome game. It is very, very good game
And that's something else that they use that motion
to be
cap
tied
for.
in.
And
Hmm.
it makes me so happy that Vanessa Marshall got to actually physically do Hera.
She does, and James Arnold
That's
Taylor did the
crazy.
character. It's
Yep.
a lot of fun. Yeah,
That's
yeah. The
awesome to
characters
me.
in
I
there are
mean,
great.
what they're putting into these other mediums, how
Mhm.
far they're going to go to make it that much more, not just realistic, but I guess true to canon and that connective tissue. They're really
Yeah,
going all out. They're really pulling out everything they can to make it that much more, I guess, realistic on that spectrum. They're giving
yeah,
it to us, they're giving us what we want. I mean, we really need to realize that we are getting so much right now. It's just, like I said, we've got 11
there
new
is a
projects in the works.
smorgasbord of Star Wars
Yes.
to pick from, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So, you can eat all the dessert or you can have whatever
Just
you
your
want.
appetizers. Oh yes, the 40th anniversary of Empire was this year. Thank you again,
Oh, you're
Eric.
right.
And we
Yeah.
got that little snippet that I believe it was
Yeah,
Clayton
some
Sandell.
behind the scenes
Yep.
stuff that we've never seen
Never
before.
exactly stuff
That
with
was nice.
Carrie, which was awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, there was just, again, even without Celebration, which I know we all really wanted to be able to do, we did really get a lot of content, which
Yeah,
again blows my mind. Looking back at it all, it
yeah.
was
What are you
incredible.
complaining about, y'all? There's a flood of Star Wars, and it's only gonna get better. Well, now wait. So we did Andor, Obi-Wan series. We have Squadrons,
Hmm.
the
The New Republic Rangers.
Newbie. Oh gosh, that's gonna be cool. And
No, wait a
then
minute. Hold that thought. New Republic Rangers. Are we going to get more of Dave Filoni's actual character?
wouldn't that be cool?
Because he is one.
I know.
Wolf, right? And oh yes,
Yeah,
I did say Bad Batch. We did talk about that a
yeah.
little bit. Because Bad Batch came out of, the season 7 Clone Wars. They were able to, that is something that my
And
son
then
is
Rogue
looking forward to.
Squadron,
Rogue
the
Squadron,
movie.
which is the film
Um,
with Patty Jenkins.
yeah,
Um, what else are we missing? Acolyte, which I'm
yeah,
looking forward to.
yeah.
The droid,
Oh, the Droid Tales are not. It's
that's
not
gonna be
Droid Tales.
animation.
Is that Droid Tales?
Mm-hmm.
Is it still called that, or is it something?
Droid. I don't know what a droid story, something like that. Star Wars.
Yeah,
Droids.
yeah.
A Star
It's a
Wars, something like that.
cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be all
Oh,
animated.
and
Then
then
the
there's
Lando.
new Lego games coming out too.
Oh, Lego. We never mentioned that we got
And the
the
Lego
holiday
holiday series.
special.
Yeah,
We got the holiday special.
that whole thing
Yes.
was so
It
hilarious.
is Droid Story, not Droid's Tale, Droid Story. Thanks, Eric. Yeah, but we got the holiday special,
Holiday
which
special.
was great. I love that. My kids sat there and watched it on Christmas morning,
Master.
but they all sat there very quietly like this, like watching it. And then my oldest goes, "But is this canon?" I go, "It depends on how you look at it from a certain point of view." I mean, I'd like to believe that Finn has begun his training. So
Yeah.
sure.
It was a
I
lot
like
of
to believe that. It
I
was.
enjoyed
I mean, oh well, yeah. I mean,
especially,
there's
when
just
they
some
all
things.
started going through the time hole or whatever that was, and they all ended up on Tatooine, and Luke is so clueless. He's drinking the blue.
See, I am the same way. I found it so ridiculously funny, and one of my favorite parts is just cut in half Maul in the sand, just shifting around, just with his torso. I did. I absolutely loved it. It was great. Like I said, I have no problems with alternate universes going on. I think it's fun
Just making
and
fun of it. Well, it's good natured humor. The
right.
whole the pants.
He did the pant dance. Well, both of my daughters were laughing, going, "I can't believe they just put that in a cartoon with Lego." I said the same thing. I'm like, they were listening to our show.
They had to.
Because we talk about this all the time. The pant dance. It happened.
It was
It
nice.
happened.
That was
Yeah,
hilarious. Yeah. So, well, that's a good laugh. We've been talking for an hour and 20 minutes. Do you believe it?
there was a lot. Well,
There
hour and
was.
20 minutes, 2020. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, so much Star Wars, and yes, Ahsoka series too. I'm overwhelmed
Crap, we
with
forgot the Ahsoka series.
there's
What?
so much. I know. I don't know how we're gonna keep up. And then didn't they also mention something for
Star Wars Transfusion.
for Taika too? They mentioned something for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just don't think they had a name to it. They didn't put a title to it. I think he's doing something in relation to what he does with his vampire thingy that he does. He's got some kind of a series that's he's got his own little humor thing going.
A humor thing. Yeah. Kind of
But,
like a robot chicken type thing, maybe?
Yes, something like in that
But
type
live
of
action.
they didn't specify. They just
I know.
mentioned him and then a project
I
type
think
thing.
they should get all the YouTube channel of Darth Vader at the work. He works at the grocery store.
That's funny.
Have you ever seen those?
I did see those, yes, and they make me laugh. Funny.
Anyway.
Yeah, what else was I getting? There was another thing. Oh, I did say Lando. So that one I'm excited for too, because
There's a Lando?
There's a Lando project in the works. Yeah.
I didn't see.
And Billy D actually tweeted that out too as well. He was very excited seeing that.
But we don't know I'm only thinking of his
Donald
rapper
Glover
name.
or Billy D.
Yeah. But my son kept saying his rapper name when he was like, "Oh, he's in that." I'm like, yeah, you didn't know that?
What, Childish Gambino, right?
That's the guy. Yeah. Michael's
That's what my
saying that. I'm
daughters
like,
call
oh,
him.
yeah.
Well, I think they really have a unique opportunity to do something very different with Lando.
Mhm.
And I think it could be, if they could allow him to generate the actual essence of Lando, okay? I think that's what they should do. And I think it would be great to use both Billy D and Donald Glover in it. I think they can do it. I think if they could harness those the Calrissian Chronicles and do it that way, have Billy D holding that and
Yeah.
start telling the story,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to go back to my Calrissian Chronicles and tell that story that way with him starting those, playing those, and
Yeah.
then you go into it and then you get Donald Glover. I think you
Right.
should start it with him, Billy D, telling it through that and then
Reminiscing. Yeah.
closing it with that.
Yeah.
I think you
That
could
would
do
be
it. I think it'd be
perfect.
unique.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. Yeah.
There's, like I said, there's ways to do things. It just depends on how creative they want to get with it. I just think having both actors do it would be phenomenal.
Well,
And it's a way for them to work together.
they've clearly done more than we ever expected or could even imagine. So they are
Absolutely.
master storytellers for sure. And I'm just looking forward to, whatever they put out there. And obviously we're not all going to like everything that goes on, but
No,
you
but
know,
that's life. We're not meant to like everything. You like Star
no.
Wars, you like Star Wars. You don't have to like everything in Star Wars.
No.
No.
We're allowed to make fun of the pants. It's okay if we make fun of pants in
It's our
Star
first
Wars.
order
First
issue.
order issue.
Not a
Sith.
fan.
What is he? The Sith Lord.
He's the supreme
He's
leader.
the supreme
Well,
leader. Well, he wasn't then, but he was the apprentice
well,
to
he
the
was
supreme
in the
leader.
holiday special. He was already
Oh, he was
supreme.
already supreme leader then. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. First order
Too
supreme
funny.
leader pants.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, all right. I
Right.
think we've been
Enough pants.
talking Star Wars long enough. Unless there's anything else you
Never
want to
enough.
add. I
I
know,
can't
I
think
know.
of anything. Although I'm struggling with between Luke and Boba. You can't tell Luke. You can't tell what Boba.
Oh,
I have
that's
a love
funny.
triangle now.
Yes, you do. And you're going to get more Boba probably before you get more Luke.
I know,
So,
darn it.
well, it's
Well,
okay. I mean, that closing scene was a lot of Luke, actually. So
that was a lot of Luke.
it was. But before we go, I do just want to let everyone know that's in our chat. And then, of course, when they get to listen to us, on our regular feeds, once that comes out, Inside Editions was wonderful to connect with Mark and I through Tarkin's Top Shelf and offer our listeners 35% off using code Tarkin35 on the entire site, excluding limited editions and sales. Okay. But otherwise, or I'm sorry, not sales, but discounted like clearance items. So you can use code Tarkin35 and save 35% off. Not just Star Wars books. It can be anything in their entire
Anything you
site.
want. Awesome.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to put the link in our notes, but for those that are listening now, it's actually Inside Editions, all one word, .com/discount /Tarkin35. If you just type that into your browser, it'll direct you. And when you
So what
actually
is
go to
it?
checkout,
Inside edition?
Inside Editions, all one word, .com.
EDITIONS
Mm-hmm.
.com.
It's in our
Okay.
notes, actually. I put it there. .com /discount /Tarkin35.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's really cool because they offered this to us for our listeners. You guys save 35% off whatever you guys pick out. And then we also get, and I'm saying we as in our network, I opened it up not just for the show of Tarkin, but for us, Kanata's Castle, and for Idiot's Array, they're giving us a portion of the proceeds.
Oh, that's cool.
As long as they use that link, they can track all those sales. So it's pretty cool. We actually have a partnership right now with a publishing company. So, and it actually fits. That was one of the things that Mark Suter was like, I listen to all these podcasts and they have all these ads, but they don't even make sense with the content.
Yeah. Yeah.
This actually makes sense with what we do. So we're actually very humbled that they offer this. So if you guys are still looking for extra books, whether it be Star Wars or anything else, Ryder did want me to throw out there that they do have Downtown Abbey stuff. Um, so if you
Downtown?
listen,
No, it's Downton Abbey.
sorry,
Downtown.
excuse me. But anyway, but they do have those on there. So they have more than just Star Wars stuff. So, but anyway, definitely check that out. And if you need books, 35% off. Like, who does not like a sale, right?
No kidding.
So, but
35% off. That's awesome.
that's a good deal. I mean, it really is. And their stuff is worth it. And I can tell you, when I get things shipped to me from the publishing companies, Inside Editions usually takes extra care in their shipping process. Like those books that we get from them are usually well encased and also wrapped in bubble wrap. So those very rarely come with a dent. So just so you
Wow.
know, if packing means something to you, Inside Editions does it really well. So I'm
Yes,
just putting it
Eric,
out there.
Downton Abbey is a good show. Ryder will be happy to hear
I will
you
let him
say
know
that.
that you said that. He'll be thrilled. Um, little boost there for Ryder. But as always, any questions or if you just want to reach out to us, best place is our email at kanatascastlefeedback@gmail.com. Of course, you all can follow us on Twitter at Castle Kanata, which is backwards like Yoda speak. And then Facebook and Instagram at Kanata's Castle. And of course, please follow and subscribe to our pitiful little band on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, and follow all of our wonderful pods there. If you feel so inclined to say hi to me, best place is always on Twitter. That's where I'm most active at YouAreAngelB. And where can they find you, Dev?
They can find me at Red5Mom across all social media and on the Xbox.
Oh, and on the Xbox, playing Squadrons. Dying constantly, but
Always
anyway,
epic deaths every day. Yeah,
several. It's a continuous cycle.
always.
But
Yeah.
then you pop up all over again. Hey,
I know. I wish real life was like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but what if you don't have infinite lives? There you go.
Well,
There's no cheat code. I
Come
want
back
my
as a
cheat
cat.
code for
9
infinite
lives.
lives.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
All right,
Well, this has
kids.
been fun.
It's been fun. Thanks for joining us, Eric and Fatmatic.
Yes.
And may the force be with everybody.
May the force be with you.
I'm ending the